grocery stores and retailers are harvesting your data, and they're leveraging that information in order to inform them on how it is that they can siphon off more of your money. All right? I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's talk about this before we get out of here for the day.
It's happened to all of us. You go to the store, stock up on groceries, household goods. Ooh, a new candle. And it's on sale? Sure, I'll throw that in my cart. You go to check out, swipe your card, head home, settle in on the couch, and wait a second. Is that an ad for candles? In fact, that's the exact brand I just bought. How did they do that?
We are able to show targeted advertising that's relevant to people.
We obviously have advertising. We're an ad-supported model, but again, we collect less data than our peers.
We're just allowing private companies to monitor us left, right, and center.
For most people,
I don't trust no man with pink hair that's talking real fast to me.
Data than our peers.
We're just allowing private companies.
I don't trust any man with pink hair. Do he got a bull ring in his nose? I don't trust any man with glasses and pink hair that went out of his way to make sure that he dyed his hair that color before he came on to Squawk Box on CNBC.
Needs to monitor us left, right, and center.
For most people, very familiar with Meta, Facebook, and YouTube, but the successful business model of those powerful platforms has really triggered a kind of Wild West, digital data gold rush.
At this point, data collection is a fact of life. From browser cookies and Amazon Prime to hyper-specific Facebook ads, the modern consumer is giving over more and more data every single day. But what if we told you data collection goes beyond social media, beyond e-commerce?
You're collecting that data, what people purchase online. Yes or no?
Actually, if they share it with us.
That it's more a part of your everyday life than most people realize.
It's a total monetization of every aspect of our lives that we didn't ask for and that we really have very few ways to escape.
What if you're giving over your valuable data the moment you step in a store?
Walking into a store, there's a camera tracking my face, there's Wi-Fi or beacons tracking my movement through the store.
When you go shop for groceries, the grocery store is shopping for your data.
And now, the federal government might be stepping in on behalf of consumers.
You know, the interesting thing about it is that we'll sit here and we'll complain about it. Oh my God, it's too much of our information. Big Brother is watching, cameras everywhere. And then we'll embrace it right after that. And you know why we're going to embrace it? Because we want it. We just don't want them to tell us that they're doing it. We want it. We want to make our lives easier. Look. When they came out with ChatGPT, right? Because the cloud has always been in existence for an extended period of time. I remember when I started moving everything over into the cloud off of hard drives, where I actually was making sure that I had both cloud backed up and hard drives, right? Because I got multiple different hard drives backing everything up. And people around me, they was like, man, you trust the cloud? You trust the cloud? Now, 7 years, 8 years later, right? Everybody is cloud specific. You know why? Because when you go over and you purchase your iPhone, you want to automatically just be able to buy it, port it over, or just sign in and then have all of your stuff automatically download because it's all based off of convenience. When you sell people convenience, they're not selling you a product. They're selling you an ecosystem. And this is the thing that people don't understand. When ChatGPT came out, everybody ran over into it. Your friends, your family, it finally gave you an opportunity to not have to help your kids with their homework because you didn't know what you was doing anyway. Everybody ran into it as fast as possible. You won't even buy an iPhone, an Android, or anything like that without cloud storage or infrastructure. You know why? Because if you lose your phone or you get it wet or something happens or it breaks, you lose all of your context unless it's backed up by the cloud. And so you want the convenience because you don't want to go through like you in 1993 and have to program every single phone number or every single thing back into whatever it is that you're doing. So you signing up for it without even signing up for it. When you watch YouTube, and then depending on what it is that you're looking at, when they recommend to you something based off of your algorithm, you don't just want to get recommended some random cat videos. You want them to recommend things that's going to be relevant to whatever it is that you're interested in. And in order for them to do that, they have to be able to source your data, and they source it from a bevy of different things. And so you can't have it both ways. Data information is money. You can't have it both ways because data information allows for them to be able to monetize you. And we want to be monetized. We just don't want to be told that we're being monetized because then you feel like a commodity. People want to be used. They just don't want to be, they don't want to tell you that they're being used. You know what we are? We prostitutes. Prostitutes for data. That's what we are. We're prostitutes for convenience. Okay, let me break it down to you from a C student's perspective. Men don't want to be told that they're hiring a prostitute, but they lead with their money in order to be able to bag a woman. Aha. Aha. You don't want to just be naturally you. What you want to do is you want her to make you feel like she really likes you and love you, even though, and this is not for everybody, but the majority of men, you want to be used, you just don't want to be misused. And so what you do is we use these terms and these words in order to make us feel better. Oh man, she loved me for me, or you know what, I take care of her, but she got to be here for the right reasons. Because if she tells you, you know what, you to come up, and as long as you continue to take care of my lifestyle, I won't leave you. But we have the information to say, well, the overwhelming majority of divorces is not initiated based off of irreconcilable differences. It's based off of the fact that you ain't got no money, man. And as soon as we ran into a rough patch from a financial perspective, she said I could do bad all by myself. It wasn't that you cheated. Nah, she was able to get over that. It wasn't that y'all had an argument. Nah, that wasn't it. Nope. That was a lie. Survey says that's a lie. She didn't even like you. She thought that you was just a cool person, but she seen an opportunity with you, and then you made it convenient for her by making her feel more secure, and then she made you feel loved, and then she needed your protection and your provision, and y'all let these simps come through and say, well, listen, it ain't 50-50, it's 100-100, and then she justifies her argument by saying, well, people in the Bible, and this, listen, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. You there because your number one reason for being in a relationship was based off of provision and protection. Then he wanted to make sure that he had some reoccurring box every single day. But nobody, you don't want him to say that I just love your box. You want him to say, I love you and you are such a good mother. And then she want him to say, well, you know what? We're going to have a real conversation, because it all comes back to exactly what it is that we see happening with our data. You know that when you sign up and you put in your email, or you get whatever this is, or you put your preferences is, you got your swiping left and your swiping rights and all of this other type of stuff, you know that they're using your information and your data. But then you're going to sit there and act cap to me and you're going to say, how did they hear me? I just was talking about that. I can't believe this showed up on my phone. See, you know what? This is why I don't like all of this. We need more privacy functions. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. You know what they doing with your information. It was convenient for you when you lost your iPhone, but it's inconvenient for you when you said something out loud and your phone was listening to you, and then next thing you know, you was looking at an ad that said the exact same thing. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. We know exactly what's happening. We just don't want to be told the truth. We'd rather be sold, keyword sold, not told. We'd rather be sold a lie. And the reason that it has to be sold to you is because you won't see any value in it unless you give your money for it. That's why when you give free information, people always say, hey man, How come y'all don't give information for free when it comes to money or whatever? Because I know that you don't value it as long as I'm giving it to you for free. It's a library that's empty right up the street right now. But you're going to spend $30,000 to go to a conference just so you can put a shark skin suit on and feel important, and then you're going to take every single note, and they gave you no value whatsoever. If I charged you $5,000 a month for the Patreon, you be all in and feeling like you're getting way more value. But because I charge you $15 a month, and then there's some people that got lifetime subscriptions for $9 a month, now all of a sudden you don't feel like you're getting as much value. I need to make sure that I pay an extra amount of money for this. Fam, when I bought the Lamborghini Urus, I knew that it was a Volkswagen. But it had that Lambo Bull on the front of it, and it got them holes up in the front seat. Stop it. You like being sold. You like being sold. You like being sold. And so stop pretending as though we are so concerned about our privacy when we're heading face first into it. That's the reality of it. You like the idea that it's predicting that you're pregnant. Oh my God. Let me figure out the gender. Y'all like playing God? Stop it.
It may sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually happening right now in the US to millions of shoppers at some of the country's biggest retailers.
Retailers today are doing just about everything they can to get as much information about you as possible because that's a whole new revenue stream for them.
It feels like data collection is something that we all know is happening but can't escape. A study out of the University of Pennsylvania found 79% of Americans feel they have little control over what marketers can find out about them. And over half, 52%, felt if they didn't hand over their data, they wouldn't get the discounts they want. And even worse, that same survey found the majority of Americans don't know the extent of what companies can do with their personal data.
The moment you step into the store, often even before you enter the store, there's all sorts of devices and technologies that are being deployed nowadays to actually track customers and understand their behavior.
In the world of data monetization, economic status, education, age group, and income. And third,
What? Okay, so wait a minute. If y'all don't like it, look, Watch Too Much Reality 7 says, no, I don't. Privacy is important. What do you think a credit score is? What do you think that your credit report is? I thought you wanted to be private. If you wanted to be private, you would just go to work, save your money, and then go and pay for your car. But you need a profile. They call it a credit profile in order for them to share your data, and then they validate that data by also comparing it against your history, your purchase history, your limits. They're using your information in order to make an informed decision to determine whether or not you will be a good borrower to pay them money and interest on top of their loans. Don't sit here and tell me that you like privacy, but you use credit. Don't tell me you like privacy, but you use credit. If it's convenient and you feel like you're going to get that Hellcat with 707 horsepower, or maybe you could get the jailbreak version, you're going to give all of the data and the information over there as fast as possible. But you signing up for credit cards, you just don't like data. You like privacy. What do you mean? They know where you live at, where you walk, where you talk, where you work, what time you getting off, if you got fired. Listen. The minute that you file an insurance claim, you know what the first thing that they do? They reference a data point to figure out whether or not you was behind on your car note. The minute that you file an insurance claim, the first thing that they do, and the reason why they want you to put in the finance company that you are financing through in order to validate whether or not you can get insurance to them, is they go and they check to find out whether or not you are behind on your car note in order to figure out whether or not they need to investigate you for insurance fraud. It's the first thing that they do. First thing that they do is go and check to see if you are missing any payments based off of these data points and all of this information that you got. They're going to find out who you are and what you're doing to see if you were committing insurance fraud. That's a fact. Think I'm playing. Get your car stolen and you 3 months behind on your car note. Watch how much more difficult it is for you to be able to get your payment.
Is behavioral data. These are traceable actions a retailer can collect, such as product preference, purchase history, internet browsing, and how much you're willing to pay for products. That data collected by companies directly from you is called first-party data, and retailers are sitting on troves of it.
They can then turn around and sell that to a lot of different companies who are maybe using your, say,
You're right, time out.
Disney Plus email
I'll talk
login
about it in a minute.
in order to tie you together using that email address identifier.
Now, the world of data acquisition is huge. Some may call it
A kind of Wild West.
But for now, let's focus on retailers. How does my local supermarket get my data? There are several points where data is collected. These are called touch points, or moments when you are giving over information to a company, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly. One of the biggest touch points for retailers is the most obvious one.
One of the biggest culprits in retailer data collection is those loyalty programs. To sign up for one of those, you have to give your name, your date of birth, your email address, your phone number, and then subsequently you are incentivized every time you go and shop at this particular retailer.
Every time y'all go to Publix and Kroger and all of these places and you want to put in the Speedway gas station, oh, but I'm a rewards customer. Look, every single thing that we do is all data driven. Going over to the casino and you become a platinum member, a noir member, you got invited into a special club. All of y'all want the Amex Black card. You want the Centurion card. You want the Amex Platinum in order to get the Delta Sky Club so that you can get the status. You want to get this Chase Sapphire Rewards because it's a metal card and it banged when it hit the table. You want to get the cars, the clothes, the everything. Every single thing that you do is data driven. You are nothing but a number. The very idea of how they identify you by social security number means that you are a data point. They don't get no more real than that. You sign up for your rewards points, loyalty programs. Everybody keep telling me, oh, you get credit and all of that. You're a data point. That's all you are. Even when you go to prison, you don't even get a name no more. You a number. And I want you to make my license plates as quickly as possible. We evaluate how fast you're making a license plate to determine what the rate should be.
To enter in all that information to identify yourself, and they're still one of the most prominent ways in particular right now that companies are figuring out how to monetize data.
Every time you swipe your loyalty card to collect those points, you're being tracked, your purchase is being connected to your profile, and that data is being used to analyze your behavior.
Facts, Tam. That's a fact, though.
Now, many people opt to not use a loyalty program, saving themselves from having to hand over that information directly. But even something as simple as downloading the store's app can be a touch point. Other touch points might be happening without you even realizing. Things like geofencing, connecting to in-store Wi-Fi, even location tracking.
Did y'all know what geofencing is? Do you know how they're able to track and then track down your killers that's in your neighborhoods that go out and do these egregious crimes? They triangulate it based off of what satellite you pinged from your cell phone when you go over there and commit a crime. And so they know that you was in the area, even though you lying and saying that you wasn't. They got you on camera. All of these Ring cameras that y'all keep buying in order to keep your home safe is really just a data point. They understand exactly how many of y'all live within a certain mile radius of a specific store. They know where it is that they need to have police presence or not. They understand every single thing there is to know about you, and then they let you get away with the crime in order to continue to push a narrative that's happening within our culture. You think that geofencing, look, okay. When it gets summertime, this is what I want y'all to do. I want you to go and get on one of them little renter scooters that be in y'all city and then see if it slows down once it passes a certain point and it's geofenced in order to prevent you, or get a drone and try to fly it over a certain thing and watch geofencing prevent it from going over a certain stadium and stuff like that. Every single thing that you do is a data point. Everything. Everything. 100%. We are so infatuated with technology at this point in our life, it's impossible for us to go back. And it's a lot of people that's making a lot of money from it, including retailers. The only people that's out of the loop is the people that want to be lied to and pretended. It's a fact, though.